Okay. Podbean just asked me to rate it just now, and I was like, no,
Not today.
not today, Podbean. Like, Podbean's great, but it's also like annoying sometimes. So it's
Yeah.
not the best time to give a review.
When you're already struggling mentally.
Yes, yes. So this morning was pretty rough for me. I had to push back our recording because I woke up with a migraine at like 5 a.m. You don't get migraines, right?
No.
Okay. So I think it's one of those things like it's different for everybody.
Okay.
But the worst thing to do in my case is to ignore that it's a migraine, but I'm always in denial. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, is this a migraine? Or is this just a regular headache? But I never get regular head ever. I never have a regular headache unless I'm hungover or something.
Sure.
But I'm like, it's probably not a migraine. Whatever. Like you play this game, and then once it gets past the point of no return, then you just have to wait till you throw up. It's horrible.
That is horrible.
Yes,
And like the throwing up kind of releases the pain.
it does. Well, then you can take medication. So I waited too long. So if I had woke up, taken medication, gone back to sleep, I probably would have been okay. But
Okay.
I was like, I don't know. You try to think you're like better than the migraine or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't go to doctors. I'm not one of those people. So I'm like,
Right.
it's fine, So, so I vomited and it releases all the pressure, which I read about it in case you want to know what that does.
Sure.
So it like reset. Well, there's like no exact correlation. Like vomiting does not necessarily relieve like it's not like, oh, you vomit and your migraine stuff.
Okay.
But it like resets your, what is it? Your vagus nerve? Vagus nerve.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it almost just like jolts your body.
Okay.
Into like releasing pressure on your nerves.
Interesting.
Isn't that wild?
That is weird.
But then I took pills, went to sleep for like another hour and a half, and I'm feeling okay. Like, I mean, I'll be low energy all day, but the headache's gone.
And do you have something in your life that always like triggers migraines?
Well, yeah, it's
Me.
It's hormone. Yeah, it was knowing I had to record today. My body was like, oh gosh. It's hormonal.
Oh, okay.
So I got them a ton when I was like going through, what is it called? Puberty?
Yes.
And now that I'm like in the perimenopause,
they're back.
They'll be back. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, it's real fun. But but I was so excited to record today that I was like, I'm going to push through. I'm going to show Megan.
Well, yeah, we're talking about headache makers today.
Yeah.
The real migraine makers. Kids.
In case you were in suspense there. Before we get into the topic, but speaking of kids,
yes,
that video. So we shared yesterday on our Planner's Passport Instagram the video that we referenced last week.
Yes,
of Megan's very intelligent daughter. Like, it's so funny that because she's so smart, she made this blooper. You know what I mean?
It's so funny. I think I posted it as an actual post on my travel Instagram. So I know stories only last for 24 hours. So if anybody has not seen it and wants to laugh for a little bit, go to Dare to Dream Travel and check it out.
Actually, we did it as a post on
Planner's that's right. Too. We did. So actually go to the Planner's Passport.
It's there forever. Yeah, go there. And then go to Megan's. Go to both. Watch it in both places and heart it in both places. Okay, thanks.
And share it.
Exactly. Did you sponsor it?
No, I did not.
Oh, man. I think that's funny. I was like, here, we're going to go viral. But God, going viral is so hard.
I know. Seriously.
I just don't understand why it's like, sometimes I do live in that world of like, why is it so much easier for everybody else, Remember when they like banned TikTok for 48 hours?
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
God, we live in such a weird time of life.
We really do.
Okay. So what, anything new you going on in your life?
I'm going to Jamaica tomorrow.
That's right. Who are you going with? I never remember.
Jared and my children. So we're
Oh,
going
you
to a
are?
beaches. So we're going to a family one. And I haven't been there yet. So I'm super excited to see it.
Is it like this last hurrah before school?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun.
It is fun. We're excited. We actually added an extra night at the last minute because we're like, we just want to get there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Good, good, good.
Yeah. So we're leaving tomorrow morning.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to a concert tonight.
You are with a friend?
Yes.
What concert are you going to go see?
I'm going to see the Indigo Girls, and Melissa Etheridge is opening.
Opening?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. I like Melissa Etheridge.
Really chill. I just bought, we knew we were going to go, but I waited and just bought the tickets this morning. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
So that I can get cheaper seats because inevitably they're going to go down. So.
Well, yeah. And we're at that age where like the people we want to see don't sell out in 24 hours. So we can just wait.
Right.
That'll be fun. It's so funny that you said that because I'm not even shitting you. Like I was in the car the other day and I put on the Chicks.
Oh, uh-huh.
And I was listening to some of those songs because it reminded me of high school.
Yep.
And I had this moment of like, you know what? Remember Lilith Fair? Like, I bet if Lilith Fair existed now, I'd be so into it. But like, I just in high school or college, I was not into it.
I think there is Lilith Fair still.
Is there?
I think so.
But wasn't that like Melissa Etheridge?
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan.
Uh-huh. Oh, shoot. I'm thinking of that one woman that Shayna used to listen to all the time. She's listening to this and she's screaming at me. Tori Amos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Lilith Fair. Oh, yeah. It revived in 2010. Huh. Something happens, I think, when you're in your 40s where then you like you're like, oh, I get it now. Women are great. And we should support women musicians.
Yes.
Anywho. Okay, well, you'll have to let me know how that is.
Yes, I will.
I was supposed to go to a Cubs game today, and I might still. I have to see, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But they're playing the Brewers here.
Oh, the Brewers are awesome right now.
That's what I heard.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like on a streak.
They're really, really good this year.
When I lived in Milwaukee, I got a 9-pack a couple of summers in a row, and they were terrible.
Well, they're usually terrible.
Yeah.
No, they're usually like mediocre, and then it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah, totally. But anyways, let's see here. That's about, I don't travel till September, so I have a couple more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nothing really. I've been just kind of chilling, reading.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
Reading books, working. I've been coloring lately.
Oh, okay. Is that like very calming?
Yes, it's just nice to like do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And actually, I was like coloring in my room. So Megan's daughter did a painting for me. I commissioned her and she created like the most beautiful piece of art I have ever seen in my life. And so I was like trying to draw it. And then I just gave up because I was like,
oh,
I mean, I will put a picture of this up because it's so fucking cool.
You know, it's a paint by number, right?
It was a paint by number?
Yes, I've told you that before. There's like lines on it, and she like did.
You
like,
did not tell me that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh,
Jen is having this like mind-blowing moment where she wishes she could go back the last 3 minutes and not hear that.
No, I'm just like, I really did not hear you ever say that.
You should try those. They're like adult ones. So they take a long time and they're hard, but it's adult, like really intricate ones.
It's still really cool. And it's really cool she took the time to do that for me.
Yeah. And you have to like mix paint colors. Like they'll be like, okay, 2 and 5. So you might like it. It's very similar to coloring.
Maybe I should try that. I did take an intro to photography class on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
And then I have a mosaic class that I'm taking next week, Friday.
That would be fun. I don't think I'd be good at that.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do more stuff.
I think that's good.
Yeah, me too. Stuff I used to do when I was a kid.
Which is still fun.
Yes. But kids. We're talking about kids today at weddings. It's a very polarizing topic.
Yes. And I'm going to tell a little story to start about why we decided to do this episode. So one of our biggest fans of the podcast behind my mom
and Rhonda
is a little boy who I believe is about 10, and his name is Levi.
Hi, Levi.
Hi, Levi. And I saw Levi's mom recently, and she told me a story that they were invited to a New Year's Eve wedding. And she was talking to me about like what they should wear. And she had an interesting question that we don't need to get into, but it was just about what to wear. And then she said that Levi was so excited to go to this wedding because he listens to our podcast, and he was so excited to go because he just wanted to go and judge people like we do and like think about all the things we say and go to this wedding. And then his little heart was broken because they realized that children were not invited. So
Yeah.
Jen, I mentioned it to Jen, and we thought that would be a good reason to do an episode on kids, because you're right, it is very polarizing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little bit about our thoughts personally on it, on kids at weddings versus not. And then also I want to touch on if you are a parent, how to handle any questions you might have, or how to interpret what the invitation means.
Yes.
Some just tips to parents to hopefully help clear up some of those types of things.
That's perfect.
So I'm going to go first.
Yes.
And I think this is surprising because everybody knows I do not have children myself. I didn't choose to not have children because I don't like children. Mm-hmm. I just decided it wasn't for me personally. Mm-hmm. But I love children. I love children that are well behaved. But for the most part, I am in camp children at weddings, which I know is probably pretty surprising.
It is pretty surprising.
I think that the reason I am is because I grew up going to weddings. So I was a flower girl in my aunt's wedding. I remember going to some of my mom had me pretty young, so I went to some of my mom's friends' weddings. Mm-hmm. And I loved them. I do have a funny story. Can I tell a quick funny story?
Yeah.
So I was a flower girl at my aunt's wedding. That is a great photo, by the way. If you want to see teased bangs on an adult woman and a 7-year-old.
80s?
1990.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I was terrified. I had anxiety since I was born. So I was like having so much anxiety about being a flower girl because I wanted to make sure I did it right. Mm-hmm. And I had heard that there was dancing at weddings, and I refused. I refused to dance. I will not dance.
Okay.
And if you know me, once I've made a decision, I can be a little stubborn. And so I was like adamant about not dancing. And so my aunt went to great lengths to make me feel comfortable. And she made this beautiful white basket with like pink ribbons. And it had, what are they called? Frago mints.
Frago?
You know, those like fancy mints.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, there was like fancy mints in a basket.
Okay.
And my aunt was like, no problem. You don't have to dance. By the way, she did dancing between courses. Ugh. So my job was to take that beautiful basket and walk around and offer people mints.
Sure.
Okay. Well, turns out I was not aware of what dancing actually meant. And once that first song started, I was on that dance floor and I didn't leave the dance floor.
And that is more how I see your personality.
Correct. And so at the end of the night, my aunt like pulled up the head tablecloth, and underneath I had hid the basket of mints. She's like, there was a full basket of fucking mints underneath.
Nobody ever got any mints that night.
Not a single mint was had, but I was the first one and the last one off the dance floor.
That's so funny. I wonder if you were thinking that it was going to be like couples dancing.
I think I did, and I was terrified of that.
Well, right, yeah.
But anyways, so I grew up going to weddings, loved them personally, and so I just feel like it's a part of the and this is like family kids. Like, I'm not saying it needs to be like everybody, all, you know, you're straight, whatever. You can have limits on the kids that are invited, but I think it's a bummer quite honestly, like that these kids don't get to be a part of these cultural significant experiences.
What if people aren't inviting kids because there's so many kids in the family and the capacity at the venue? Like, would you prioritize bringing in closer kids and kicking out other, not kicking out, but not inviting other guests or friends that they wanted to have there?
So I guess what I would say for I'm not saying like I'm team kids at weddings, so make sure it happens. I mean, you have to do what works for you.
Right.
But I'm just in general like, yeah, I mean, I think like your nieces and nephews should be able to be at your wedding, you know, kind of those close. Yeah, I mean, they're family. So
Yeah.
that's where I struggle. It's like,
Yeah. It's so interesting. My brain is going like a mile a minute because I find it so interesting that you've chosen not to have kids, but you have this perspective. I have 2 kids,
yeah,
and I would never tell somebody, "Oh, kids don't belong at weddings, don't invite kids." That's not really my perspective, but from a perspective of a wedding guest and a mom, I'm like, number 1, my kids have gone to a couple weddings and they're not fun. They're not fun for kids, for all kids, because it's a lot of sitting around. It's a lot of just sitting at a table with adult conversation, and most people are not really interacting with them very much. And my daughter doesn't really like loud things, so like the music just like totally puts her off. Also, both of the times there were minimal kids there. It's not like 80s or 90s weddings where there's tons of kids and they're all running around. Usually now if there's kids being invited to weddings, it's okay, we invited a couple kids. It's like the flower girl and my sister's kids. So there's not other kids there to really play with. Bottom line, they were bored out of their minds. So my kids were like, ugh, this is horrible. And then from my perspective as a parent, I'm like, I want a night to myself. My kids don't need to come. Like I'm going to a wedding. I want to have a cocktail with my husband and dance and not have to worry about my children. So I have the total
yeah.
like opposite where for me, where I'm like, they don't need to be here.
Yeah, and maybe it's just like maybe I would have a different perspective if I had kids.
Yeah.
But I think this is something bigger too because it's obviously a cultural shift.
Mm-hmm.
Because to say like we grew up in the 80s and 90s going to weddings and we remember that and there were lots of kids around and we ran around and had a good time, and now we're saying
Yep.
there are usually no kids, or if there are, just a few. So it's not even fun for kids anymore. Like that's interesting, right? Like that's an interesting shift.
Yeah. Do you think that it's changed because the cost of weddings have gone up too? Like when we were younger, I don't know about you, I'm not going to speak for you, but the weddings that I was going to, nobody was spending the money of the weddings I'm doing.
You're right. Yeah.
So to bring children in there who may or may not enjoy themselves for that cost, because they are taking up a plate, even though it is less expensive and possibly an extra table with centerpieces and linens and stuff, the cost adds up.
Totally.
So when it's just in a, rec building in your hometown in the middle of Wisconsin where it's just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm not knocking that, but it's like, a buffet from the local grocery store is a lot different than a wedding in downtown Milwaukee or Chicago when people are paying hundreds of dollars a plate.
Oh my God. All I keep thinking while you're talking is like, I am so glad I grew up kind of poor in Wisconsin. I mean, for real. Because I'm like, hell yeah, maybe my second wedding is going to be at the rec league.
Right.
So you totally a valid point. I think, I think the times I have experienced, because my experience still is that kids are still the first ones on the dance floor. So to me, I always just think like you're watching them and they're just so excited and they're having like the best time, and you're just like, it's a joy to watch, but I'm not having to deal with them.
Right.
I mean, maybe I have to deal with the flower girl or the ring bearer, but still like typically that's pretty easy. I always say to my couples when they are having a flower girl ring bearer, I'm like, if it works, it's adorable. If it doesn't work, it's adorable.
Right.
And one of the things that you can just feel in the room is, okay, so when the ceremony is starting and the music stops and the officiant or priest walks in or whatever, there's just this like anticipation. You can feel it. Everybody's kind of whatever. And you send people down. And then when you send those kids in, the whole room just like takes it like, ah, ha, 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 you know? And whether they're crying or need dad to come pick them up and walk them down or whatever it is, like you can tell it makes the whole room appreciate that moment. So there are things about having kids at weddings that I think, like, sure, just like everything. I mean, hell, having your aunt at a wedding sometimes can suck, right? Like there's, so it's just like there are pluses and minuses to having everyone at your wedding.
Right.
So yeah, I'm just like, when my couples say to me like, yeah, we're going to have kids, it's not like I'm like, oh God, you know, I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah. I don't really dissuade or try to, it's a very personal decision.
Yeah.
Do you think most of your couples have kids, don't, or do you think it's pretty even?
Most of my couples choose not to have kids.
Mine too. Oh, and if they have them in the wedding ceremony, a lot of times they'll have somebody who's going to take them maybe after cocktail hour to leave.
One of my couples, the RumChata couple, haven't talked about them in a while. They had a really hearty budget, which was lovely for many reasons. And we created like a full-on daycare at their venue. There was a second floor that was unused space, and we brought in 4 babysitters. We brought in legit tents and sleeping bags. We had TV. We put a buffet up there for just the kids.
Yep.
It was awesome. The older kids were allowed to come down and dance if they wanted, but they could go upstairs if they wanted to get away, to color, or to watch a movie, whatever. And then actually, you know, there were some pretty young kids and they zonked out, and then parents just picked them up and off they went. So we've done that, which was pretty cool.
I'm curious, did you put that in the invitation that was going to happen?
I don't think we did.
I'm asking because I had a couple a long time ago, probably like 8 years ago or so, try to do this at the hotel, and parents got upset.
Really?
Yes, because they brought their children and they didn't know the babysitters, and it was essentially like they didn't trust the people watching the kids enough to leave them, and the couple was adamant that they didn't want kids in the actual wedding reception area. And the parents were extremely upset because they didn't want to leave the children with strangers.
Interesting. Well, so let's talk a little bit about if you are a parent.
Yes.
Invited to a wedding. And I guess this will kind of go back and forth because we can be talking about what the couples can be doing to prepare at the same time. But first and foremost, if you get an invitation to a wedding and there are no other names on the invitation besides you and your spouse, kids are not invited. Period.
Right.
So you don't even have to ask.
Right. That's the Emily Post etiquette. Your children's names will be listed, or it will maybe say "and family."
Correct.
That is your indication that your children are invited.
Right. If you are the couple, another step you can take is on your wedding website, under frequently asked questions, you can put a like, "Our kids invited," and or whatever. We always put something cutesy like, "Even though we love your little ones,
right,
we want you to have a night off."
Right.
Okay. So check the wedding website, because there should be something on there too that just reiterates that. But the only people invited to the wedding are those who are on that invitation.
Correct. And a lot of people now are doing online RSVPs. So when you go into RSVP for the wedding, you're going in and will say person's name, check which entree they want. If your kids aren't listed and they don't pop up to select food, again, they are not invited. It's usually very clear if you know these signs.
Right. While I'm thinking about it, also to the couple getting married, if you are inviting kids and you are having them online RSVP, do not forget to put the kids' meal as an option.
Right.
Because otherwise they're forced to pick like beef or chicken. So
right.
make sure you have that as an option for the kids.
Yes.
But yeah, so those are all very clear signs that your kids are not invited, whether you like that or not.
Do you encounter where the invites are sent out and people get them, and then there's a lot of backlash at your couples for not inviting children?
Yes, it's happened. It's caused actually some pretty severe drama.
Yes.
And that's why I thought we should do this episode, because it's just to be prepared. Like there's really nothing we can do here. Like
right.
If you're getting married, there are just things you're going to have to navigate whether you like it or not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And if one of those things is that you decide to not have children at the wedding, you need to be prepared that you are going to hear something about it.
Definitely.
And it's most likely going to be family.
Oh, definitely. Yes. And you're going to get pressure into inviting these children. And if you really don't want them there, you're going to have to stick to your guns.
Yes. And your planner can't fight that battle for you. So like we're in your corner and we can prepare you with like what to say and how to get ready to navigate it. But like you are going to have some conversations with people.
Right.
I always think it's so bizarre, but one of the things I have to remind my couples of from time to time is like, so the people you're inviting, they're your friends and family. So if you need to convey something to someone, you can.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyways, but yes, it's you're going to have some tough conversations, and you can say things like Megan said earlier, like it's just due to venue constraints.
Right. Even if it's not, you can say that. I give you permission.
Right. Well, and I think also you have to remind your family that you're marrying into another family,
mm-hmm.
and that family might have 500 kids.
Right.
And if your spouse invites one, they have to invite all 500.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something you can say too. Like, unfortunately, we had to come to this decision, as a team, because blame it on your spouse. Who cares? They don't know.
Right. And I've had where guests, I mean, I don't know directly because the guests don't reach out to me, but my couples have said, well, we, reiterated that there's no children allowed. And so this person, insert name here, said that they're not coming because they can't pay for a babysitter. They can't bring their kid. So if they can't bring their kid, they're not coming. And then your answer to that is, I'm sorry you can't come. I hope to see you sometime down. I don't know. Like
mm-hmm.
They are just being a child at that
mm-hmm.
point. They're being a kid,
right?
Acting like that and not respecting your boundaries. So again, you have to stick to your guns.
Yeah. And you have to be okay with that.
Right.
An invitation is that. It is just, we are inviting you to come if you'd like to come, and if they're choosing not to for whatever reason, that's up to them.
Well, it's hard because everybody that gets married thinks every single person is coming to their wedding.
I know. Although I'm at that weird, for my October couple right now, we're at that weird RSVP stage where nobody has said no.
Oh yeah, that always happens. And people are like, they're all coming. And I'm like, no, you're going to get a flood of no's at the end.
But even me, like this far into the game, I'm like, oh God, like we need to start seeing some no's here. But yeah, you need to be prepared for that. And like, I can't even emphasize enough, like when you get married, you just, feathers get ruffled. It does not matter. You cannot make everyone happy. So this is when we're talking about a decision for kids or not, when we're talking about what kind of cake you have, when we're talking about what temperature you keep the fucking room, you cannot make everyone happy.
People think they can.
I know. And
they go into this with rose-colored glasses and they're like, every single person is going to think that this is the best wedding that they've ever gone to.
Yes. Well,
That's
if
tough.
Megan and I are planning it, it's probably up there, but I'm just saying you're gonna piss someone off, and it sucks, but it's just a part of this journey.
Right. So pick your battles, and if kids are one of them, it is what it is.
Yes. If you have a planner, it's so nice because whether we like it or not, we become kind of like therapists in a way.
Right.
We've been through this so many times that yes, let's talk through how we handle it, and here's what we're going to do. If you are on your own here, like sit down with your spouse at the beginning and just get really clear on what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not. And that's literally every decision you're going to make.
Yep. So when kids come to a wedding, let's talk about some things that maybe a couple should think about including, or things to do that
Yes.
they can help to make sure that the kids feel included into the day and maybe be a little less annoying.
Yes. First, I'm going to say, because as we're recording, I do want to point out that even though I'm okay with kids at weddings, I need parents who are bringing their kids to note that if their child is making noise during the ceremony, you pick them up and you leave.
Yeah.
You pick them up and you leave immediately. We don't get out a toy. We don't get out a snack. We pick them up and you go out of the room.
Yes.
So that's just one thing you have to keep in mind. If your friends have been like, yeah, you can bring your baby.
Right.
Then it is your responsibility, though, to be like what's the word? Like a decent person.
Well, I mean, that carries over into the reception too.
Totally.
If you know your child is a hellion,
yes,
or is going to get hopped up on sugar at this wedding, and they are terrorizing and running as fast as they can down the hall through the reception, rein them in.
right.
This is not a jungle gym. I'm not saying they have to stand there in perfect attention and be the most well-behaved child ever. I get it. Kids are loud and messy and kids are kids. But there's a difference between a decently behaved child and somebody that is not being parented. And maybe I'll get trolls for saying this, because every time you say something, I'm not calling anybody out in particular. It's just a general point because I see it, occasionally.
No, I agree. So, I mean, this goes to then the parents. If an invite has been extended to your children to attend this wedding and you don't want to have to parent,
right?
Like if you want to just have fun and enjoy the celebrations without parenting, then leave them at home. Just because they're invited doesn't mean they need to attend.
Right.
If you bring them, you are on parent duty.
Right.
So you need to make sure that your kids are behaving.
Yes.
And if they're not, they need to be removed from the situation. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, you'd think it is as simple as that.
Well, you'd think a lot of this would be simple.
We live in weird times, Jen.
Oh, God, we really do. Because also, I will say, as a child of the 80s and 90s, our parents took us everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, like, kids went everywhere. Or we were left at home starting at, like, 8, because it was like, you're fine, you're an adult now. But we were expected to behave.
Right.
I mean, we would leave restaurants if I wasn't behaving.
Yeah.
So my statement, I will add, I'm all for kids at weddings, but like only if they have a mature parent.
Right.
That parents their children.
Right.
Then that's fine. So just because your kids are invited doesn't mean they have to come. If you choose to bring them, you need to parent them.
Yeah. The couple is not going to feel bad if you decide to leave your kids at home. Trust me.
Yeah, no.
They'll probably send you a thank you card.
Totally. So to answer your question though, the 2 things I always will recommend. So 1, we feed the kids right away.
Mm-hmm.
So even if, once they sit down, you're sitting down for your salad course, we're bringing out the chicken fingers right away. So that kids can eat and don't have to sit and look at a plate of lettuce waiting for their chicken nuggets. The second thing that I recommend that my couples do are make little kits that we set at each place setting with like a coloring book, crayons, like flip pad games, things of that nature. And we do them, I've had some couples who will even like take in the age into account. So it's like if they're older kids, what goes into their bags are different than for the younger kids, but just giving them something to do.
If it was when we were growing up, we would have gotten candy cigars.
Yes. And
remember, we'd get those for celebrations.
Yes.
I remember when my mom had my brother or sister, both times, this was early 90s, they sent me to school with bubblegum cigars to pass out. Can you imagine doing that now? Sending candy cigars or cigarettes?
No. My friend and I used to ride our bikes down to the corner store and buy candy cigarettes and root beer and pretend we were smoking and drinking.
And it was acceptable.
Totally. Totally.
I think we used to smash up Smarties and pretend that it was like crack or something.
Yeah, like we didn't even know what it was.
Right.
We didn't even know what we were. Or pixie sticks. Remember pixie sticks?
Yes, they still make those. And we're saying right now is a weird time.
Yeah. I know, as I was like, oh yeah, I was left home alone at 8 to smoke cigarettes and drink root beer. Oh God. I remember my mom had this game called Pass Out. And my friends and I would play, but we would like be like with Doritos and pop or something. Oh my God. Anyways, yes, times have always been weird in their own way.
But at least we had a good time.
Okay, the other thing, if it's doable, this adds a little bit more expense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to the lengths that my one couple did and like make a full-on daycare. But if there is a room at the hotel or the venue where you can have a TV and a movie playing, that can be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doable for everybody.
Right.
But if that's an option, I always recommend that. And then I, too, recommend having a babysitting service that you are aware of. Like your planner should know a few people. Like in Chicago, are there companies in Milwaukee for this?
Yeah, there's companies that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we've used them. And to your point, some parents might not love that. So for that, for sure, you're like giving that information to the parent. Like,
right.
Hey, we have this babysitting service you can call if you want.
Yeah. I always stress like these are not people I know. This
Right.
is a public company. So if you want to talk to the couple to get a personal recommendation, that's going to be different because
Right.
I don't want to vouch for anybody personally. God forbid
Right.
something would happen, then that comes back on me.
Right. Oh my God. Off subject, but not.
Yeah.
I think we should do an episode about how it annoys me that millennials treat their dogs like their kids, and then we have to get dog babysitters. Oh my God.
Oh, that's like a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah. And I have wonderful companies that I work with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love dogs. But if I had to pick between dogs at wedding or kids at wedding, whenever one of my couples is like, we really want to have Rocky and I'm like, oh my God, Rocky's going to be dead in 5 years and you're going to have all these pictures of Rocky. And like, isn't that sad? Like Rocky's in all your photos. Like, anyways, I had a migraine this morning. Everybody give me a break.
Maybe I'll retire from wedding planning and just be a dog sitter.
Maybe I'll retire from wedding planning and just be Mary fucking Poppins and show up at weddings and take care of all the kids.
That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
What about you? Did I miss anything? Are there any other things that you have done at weddings or?
I don't think so. This is not the same as what you should do for kids at weddings, but something that I always remind people if they're like, oh, should we have kids? Should we not? Things like a photo booth at your wedding, which I'm not really a fan of anymore anyway, but if you have a photo booth at your wedding and kids are going to take over certain things. So like if you have kids and you have a photo booth, that's not going to be something, especially right away in the night, that all the adults are going to gravitate for. It's going to become a kid playground. If you have like a dessert bar or spread or anything, be prepared for the kids to just go for it.
Totally.
So it's just a little bit different of a dynamic when there's kids there.
I agree. I mean, it definitely is. I can tell you, I have never, it's kind of like, I always say, like, I have never had weather ruin a wedding day.
Yeah.
I have never had a child ruin somebody's wedding. So it's usually the mother. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I keep that in because that's what I believe. Just kidding.
No, I haven't either. If it's somebody else's child,
yes,
you need to detach yourself from that situation.
Yeah.
It's not your problem. That child is not your problem. And I've never had a child, thankfully, knock over a cake or spill something all over.
That's usually a guess.
Yes. Yeah. That can happen with anybody.
Have you seen that video going around where it's like why people shouldn't be in the reception and the woman butts up against the champagne tower?
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, if anybody's ruined a wedding, I'm telling you, it's like your third cousin removed.
Yeah, because the kids aren't drunk.
No.
But cousin Larry is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, just all things to think about. I think if we're gonna like summarize it, if you are a couple, it should be one of the first discussions you have because it affects your guest count overall.
Yep.
And you should have a conversation about like if you are inviting some kids and not, where the line is drawn, and make sure you stay united on that moving forward. You should put something on your wedding website that makes it clear what your policy is on kids at weddings. If you are inviting kids, make sure you put the chicken nuggets as an option on the I'm thinking of when people email me, I'm like, oh yeah, it's because we forgot to put the chicken nuggets on there.
Right. Make sure that your parents understand your perspective so that when, your Aunt Carla calls your mom and asks why her grandchildren can't come to the wedding, your mom doesn't cave and say, "Oh, they can." That's what the issue usually is somebody else gives them the okay that they can bring them, and then the couple finds out and they're like, "What the heck?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally. Make sure you're very clear on your invites, who's invited by, I'm not a big etiquette fan, but for this, I follow it to a T. So
yes,
if kids are invited, like Megan said, you can write and family, or you would actually write everybody's name out.
And be prepared for people to not understand that because nobody really knows wedding etiquette anymore. So you can follow it to a T, but you're still going to get questions about it.
Right.
Be prepared.
Yeah, so be prepared for that. If you choose to have kids at the wedding, make sure you're just aware of what that means, but having some things for them to do, making sure they get fed first, tends to keep them happy. But yeah, I think that kind of sums it up.
It's a very personal decision. We just wanted to talk through pros and cons and what to expect.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, what do we have coming down the pipeline?
Well, our next episode is the hills we are willing to die on.
Oh, yes, that's right.
I don't usually think about much before we record. This one, I've been jotting things down.
Okay, I'm going to prepare myself.
Because we've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
So I've learned not to die on many hills anymore because you're like, whatever, I don't care.
Right. As long as they know it's their decision.
Yeah. But pretty much like when I start planning, I'm like, hey, just so you know, here are the things that we are not doing.
Right.
So I think it'll be a good episode.
Good.
Just like fun.
Yes.
Us being a little crabby. I like when we're both crabby.
I was like, Jen's going to be a little sassy.
All right.
All right. Well, I hope you feel better today.
Yes.
And we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thanks so much for joining us again this week. If you have a wedding or travel-related story of your own that you would like us to share in a future episode, send us an email to theplannerspassport@gmail.com.
And be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Planner's Passport and follow all of our travel and wedding businesses, including We Roam Solo, Dare to Dream Travel, and Dare to Dream Weddings. And please, if you enjoy our show, remember to rate, review, and subscribe from wherever you are listening to this podcast.